Are we live?
We might be live.
We are actually live for the first time in 6 or 7 weeks in the ClickFunnels Facebook group, officially the ClickFunnels Facebook group. So, question I have, Madison, is what did you do to actually get that to work?
We are using StreamYard because let's face it, we're lucky Dan knows how to share his screen in StreamYard, so we definitely don't want to switch a platform on him.
No, you don't, because it would take 3 weeks to relearn that.
StreamYard to Restream using the RMTP encoder, and then Restream is streaming it to the ClickFunnels Facebook group through an event.
Okay. So you have to do all that. Now, if we were to just go directly use Restream instead of get rid of StreamYard, that would probably work as well.
Maybe not. Who knows?
Maybe not. But Madison has all kinds of money, and so she figured, why not buy both platforms just for you, the viewers of Super Ambassadors Live.
Yes. And I have a cool little intro that I've done that I just haven't been able to cue in yet. So maybe next week they'll come to see our new intro. Open loop.
Not the Headbangers Ball that we're starting off with now.
Oh no, we're gonna have that too. That'll be the countdown. But
we're gonna have like 3 intros next week.
We need a proper introduction.
Okay, so we need Funnel Baby, is what you're telling me.
No, we have a special Super Ambassadors host that's gonna introduce us.
Oh, you know what you got to do is dig up that Santa Claus guy that you did a couple of years ago. Which still, I mean, when you think about, so what was it?
Oh yeah,
it's almost 2+ years ago now, wasn't it? It was like October of
right after Funnel Hacking Live in Orlando.
Was that like October 23?
I think it was like November 2023. Yeah, almost 3. It'll be 3 years ago at the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. Madison at that point created a talking head video for a contest that we were all involved with. And especially with this beard that I have now, I look very much similar to that guy in that video. And but now I look back at that, 2.5 years ago, how good that was then versus I don't know if you've seen all the videos of the dogs jumping into the snowbanks and then popping their heads out. They're all being generated by AI, in case somebody was wondering about that. Because otherwise, how is it that this pristine snow, everybody just happened to be there with their camera as their brand new puppy goes jumping into the snowbank, digs around under it, and then pops up somewhere else. But they are definitely all being AI generated, including the one I saw this morning of a husky who jumped into it and half his body disappeared as he was going into the snow. I was just like, yeah, that's AI for sure. No doubt about that. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, if you dig up that guy and bring that back, that would be super cool. But either way, today we're going to talk about 2 things. Madison's going to talk about some Canva stuff. Yep. And because once we start talking about Canva, I know we can go down a very deep rat hole at that point. So I think that maybe I should show a couple of things first, because
you go first.
Once we start talking Canva, we'll talk that for an hour. So what I want to do is, let me just make sure I have this set up in here to show. Okay, so let me share my screen. Let's go here, share the screen, the entire screen. No, not the, oh shoot, this isn't going to work. Okay, well, I'm going to do 2 things at a time here. Let's do this one. All right, let's just start with that one first.
Okay, you ready?
I am ready.
Okay.
So here we go. This, in case you have not seen it, is the new
biggest advancement to happen to ClickFunnels in the whole time in 15 years
in the history of ever. Thank
you, Todd, Russell, and Andrew. This is revolutionary.
Yeah,
I'm not joking.
In many ways, it is, because here's the interesting thing. What is behind the sign in to Google is everybody's email addresses, places where you can put in credit card information, you can turn things on, you can turn things off, all kinds of stuff. And so there has to be a lot of security on this particular page. That's why, whether it's this page where you log into ClickFunnels or a page where you log into a course area, they have to have really high security on it. So just recently, I guess probably this week, this popped up as far as your ability to be able to sign into your ClickFunnels account. I've been told there's no ETA on this. There's no time frame. There's no promises made, but I've been told they are working on it for courses as well. So hopefully that will be coming soon, but that could be months and months down the road. So don't hold your breath because it could still be a while. But you see, this kind of thing is in the works. Are they going to do things other than Google? Are they going to do Facebook, et cetera, et cetera? I don't know. I wouldn't use any of those anyway, but I might use sign in with Google. So let me stop sharing that screen.
So I will say the caveat here is you don't have to do anything. You just have to have a Google account or a Google workspace associated with your email address. Like I have a business branded email, so it's at Red Willow Holdings, and it's a Google workspace. So that all I got to do is I click that button, I log in with Google. So it actually links to your existing email in your ClickFunnels account. So it's not like you had to log in, choose a workspace, put your other email in, put your password in, do all the things. It is actually pretty amazing. It is one click. I thought there's no chance. This is just for like new people that signed up, but no, they connect it to your existing ClickFunnels account.
So you have already activated.
I've used it twice on 2 different accounts. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, flip on my screen here. And so in your account, how to get there. And I can't show you all the way how to get there because if I show you the last page, it's going to show you my email addresses, my phone number, maybe my home address. If you were to see that, send me nice gifts. But you just come down here to workspace settings. And then once it does its thing, hopefully it'll do that quickly. Of course, it never does when you're live. Come on, Slowpoke, hurry up. Well, once that gets there, there'll be another thing down here that'll say something else, and I forget what the heck that is that it says, but you click on that, and then over here on the right-hand side, it'll say Google login or something, and there'll be a big button to connect.
I didn't even have to do that.
Button. You didn't have to do that?
Huh. I just clicked sign in with Google.
Well, when you log into your account normally, do you use a Google or a Gmail address? Okay.
Yeah, I only have Gmail addresses.
Okay. So that doesn't work for me because I use my regular email address to log into my ClickFunnels account and always have. And so for me, what I did initially, somebody told me, just create a teammate in your account with that email address. I still wasn't able to do it, but there is a connect button that would appear right over here. Like I said, if this thing, is done loading up. I don't know what happened.
It's almost there.
Don't touch it. But either way, there's a connect button there. Those between what Madison said, what Miguel told me to do, which is create a teammate with the Google ID you want to log in with, or find that connect button, click on it, go through whatever setup process is in there. Like I said, I haven't done it yet. Between those 3, you should be able to log in then going forward with your Gmail account. And if not, then just send off something to support because, again, it's brand new, which means it's in beta, which means, so just give it a shot and see what you can find out. The other thing I will show you, and actually let me take my screen down because I want to open something up just to see what I have in this account because I'm in my testing account, so I don't know.
Where he's got all of his monies.
No, I don't have any.
He doesn't want to make you guys all jealous.
No, I don't have any. There's no money in any of my accounts. You don't have to worry about that. Let me see if I can find one here. They got a new thing in here where if somebody becomes unsubscribed with one click of the button, you can resubscribe them. And there's all kinds of reasons somebody can get unsubscribed, things bouncing, all that, which I don't really understand why somebody gets unsubscribed when they bounce. Just because they bounce doesn't mean that it's a bad email address. They could bounce for all kinds of reasons, not having to do with a bad email address. So share my screen again, if you would. Here we got old Bob Zomigan here at bobzomigan.com. And but he apparently had a bad email address and or something happened that caused his email to bounce. And because it bounced, therefore I'm not able to ever send him an email again. Well, that's the way it used to be. Now you can come in here when Bob bounces, you can just come over here and re-enable that email and click on that. And now the next time I send out any kind of either a broadcast or a regular workflow email, it will now go to Bob's email address. And
Lucky Bob.
Will it? And in fact, it's Bab. It's Bab.
That's probably why.
Yep, that could be.
I fat fingered it, you know.
I typed it in wrong. So that's why it bounced. Besides the fact it's a fake email address, but the big thing is you can go in there and turn that back on now. Now, if Bob bounces 3, 4, or 5 times in a row, every time you go back in there, okay, I'll turn Bob back on one more time. If he bounces 3, 4, 5 times, well, then just delete him out, because at that point, you know it's not a good email address. You know it's not going to go anywhere. Now, if Bob has purchased a bunch of stuff, you obviously want to keep him around. But if he's just somebody who opted in for something, gave you a bad email address, then once you see it bounce a couple times, then just delete it out of there and do the GDPR. Let me turn that off. Do the GDPR delete on here. And what that will do is, because that's how anybody who unsubscribes from me, I do a GDPR delete on them, which then takes them out of your system and it allows them to come back in at any point in the future. So
if you just don't subscribe them again?
You what? I'm sorry, you're breaking up. See, you're breaking up right in the middle of your joke, and so I didn't get the joke.
Oh, I said you actually let them unsubscribe. You don't just like keep them enrolled and keep re-enrolling them. Keep sending them emails. No, you actually. Oh, okay.
Well, you can once they unsubscribe, you can't send them an email anymore because they're marked as unsubscribed. And so, but my point is, if you do a GDPR delete on them, it will allow them to be able to come back in at any time and then re-sign up. But because if you don't do that, and let's say they come back in 2 months later and they purchase something, they're purchasing something using an email address that is undeliverable, and you can't send them anything.
Yeah.
So they come in, they purchase.
They also don't get magic links.
They also don't get magic links. Okay, that wouldn't surprise me either, because the email address is therefore banned, and you can't send them anything. So it's a good practice. Anytime you send out your emails, go in and look at your. I don't know, so I have. I probably don't have any real broadcasts in here, but in the broadcasts, look in there, or any of them, and just see how many people unsubscribed. If they unsubscribe, just go in there, do a GDPR delete on them. Then the next time, if they ever come back and they go and purchase, it'll create a new contact record. Will not show as undeliverable or unsubscribed. And so they'll have a clean, fresh new record. Let's just put it that way. If you do it that way.
Can you can't GDRP delete them from a workflow, can you?
Well, if you GDPR delete them, you're
I meant like if you would trigger an automation based on an unsubscribe to then delete them.
I don't know if you can trigger an automation based on an unsubscribe, because what are you going to automate? Because they just unsubscribed, you can't send them an email anyway.
Oh, I'm just going to automate deleting them.
Oh, automate the deletion of them. Well, that's an interesting question that we weren't planning on going to, but as long as
I don't think so. I don't think that's like a
go down this rabbit hole, I can forget about some of the other stuff I was going to talk about. Let's just look at this.
Welcome to our.
What was that? Welcome to our world. You keep cutting out.
Our rabbit hole.
Rabbit. Let me see here. Add a tag. Okay, so here's our workflow trigger. So that's where we would do it, right? On a trigger. So add a trigger. Select an event. So let me see here. Subscription.
There's email undelivered, right?
Email broadcast.
Oh, broadcast sent.
Yeah, I don't think there's one here, but you're right. I mean, that would, if somebody unsubscribed, create a workflow for everybody who unsubscribes to automatically GDPR them. Now, the question I have, and I have not had it answered yet, I have not tested it yet, is what if they've already purchased stuff What if they've already enrolled in a course? What happens then if they unsubscribe, especially from the standpoint of the course? So if they purchase some stuff, let's say, and then they unsubscribe, can you GDPR delete them? I don't know as though you can. You can? You're shaking your
I
head
believe
yes?
so, because
Okay.
it's a full wipe.
Okay.
Because
So
even say I came to you, Dan, and I'm like, hey, I don't want your thing anymore. Delete me. You have to delete all of their information because that's the UK requirement.
yeah.
It's a full wipe of that person and their activities.
Okay. But I would guess the sale is still somehow still in the system. The fact that there was a sale, but you delete their contact information, essentially. Then the other question is so I would guess, yeah, so they could not then, even if they were enrolled in a course and you deleted them.
Because you're deleting all their activity as well.
Yeah.
You're deleting all their enrollments, and
Okay.
they vanished.
Yeah. So we got subscription here, but that's it. So there's not an ability. So if the devs are watching this, that could be something interesting if somebody unsubscribes to just run a workflow to just get them out. Because, you know, they made it clear they want out, so let them out.
Yep.
But like I said, it also clears things up because I was actually talking, I was on one of the FBCC calls this week, and there was a gal in there who was experiencing the problem I described, in that she had a woman who unsubscribed. Then that woman came back 2 months later, purchased something, and the ClickFunnels person wasn't able to contact them. Nothing was working because they had been unsubscribed, because they unsubscribed themselves. And there was no way to undo that. Now you can. Now you can go in there and undo that, number one, but just best to not run into that problem, just delete them to begin with. That was email undo. So, all right, should I show the other thing I was going to show? I can do that real quick.
Go for it.
Go for it, man.
Go for it.
All right, let's do this real fast here. We'll come out of that workspace, come into my demo testing workspace, and come on. Okay, what I'm going to show here is it's something that a lot of people have asked about, and I've done actually a couple of videos on this already in other places, the FBC and places like that. But here we got the One Comma Club page, but ClickFunnels uses this in a number of different places where they have what we're seeing here is your first win is blue. It's a different font. It's italicized. It's all this kind of stuff. And it's interesting the way that whoever built this page did it, because they did a lot of things that I certainly wouldn't have done. Like I said, it's one of those things where you know enough to be able to cobble it together and get it to work, but it's not necessarily the optimal way. Because one of the things you can see right here is I highlighted this. You can see that this element is underlined. But we get down here in the code, not only is it underlined, but it also has an italics tag around it. And it's like, okay, do we really need both of these? No. And then how do they get this font family in here? Well, that font family, if we come here to the I tag and the, oops, see, I had turned it off, so I apologize for that. I was looking at this ahead of time. And let me just make sure this one's turned back on. Are these all on? Yes. Okay. So so you see the font family that it has is Play Fair Display. Well, what they did in here, besides doing a bunch of stuff, so let's do this here. So we have an ID right here. So here they put an ID on the headline. Okay, that makes sense. We want to identify a particular headline in here. But then they came into the this U tag right here, and they made this a universal U tag down here at the bottom and made it blue. So what they're saying here is any underline anywhere on this page has to be this blue color. Well, we don't necessarily want that on every place you underline on the page. We only want it on this particular headline element. And then because they used an underline, they didn't come in and just say text decoration of none. for the underline part, they said text decoration color of transparent. So they just, and I was like, when I saw it the first time, I'm like, that's actually genius when you think about it, but it was completely unnecessary because you shouldn't have underlined it in the first place. So there was no reason to underline it in the first place. And we set the color to blue there as well. And then over here, they used an I tag. Well, they used an I tag and then they gave it the font family of Playfair display. Okay. Font style of italic. Well, why would you give a font style of italic if you already gave it an I tag? And here's the thing is, it's not needed. The reason why is this. If we come up here into the code, and we come to the custom code, we're going to see that they actually put the font family into the code. So it's right here. So they imported the italics version. We got Playfair display italics right there. So they uploaded the italic font for this font family in here. And so therefore, by calling it, it should automatically make it italic, or you put the I tag around it. You don't give it the font style of italic because you see, as I turn that off, it does absolutely nothing right there.
So if you remember correctly, in the first version of the new one funnel away challenge with Trey Llewellyn, where he did the advertorial page, that is where they had it was italicized and it was looked like it had been highlighted. They did a similar way with that, where they actually used a strike through to trigger that type of font decoration with it.
And that's normally what I would do, is to use a strike through. And the reason why I use a strike through, let's just drop it into this page here. The reason I use a strike through is because it's not very likely that you're going to use a strike through just about anywhere else. You normally don't really use them too much. So let's just come in here and I'm all kerfluffled here. Let's just put a section down here at the bottom, and we'll just make a one column row. And let's make this, we'll give this all kinds of space to work with here. Okay, so now it's in the middle of nowhere by itself. So let's put in our headline element. We'll paste that in. And let's just make this a bigger font size so we can actually see it. And here we go. So now, so the first thing they did is we're going to come in here and we're going to give this the ID of Playfair. And we will update this, copy that, paste it in. Okay, now the next thing I would do is I'm going to put a strike through on this. And again, for the same reason, is I normally, where else do you use it? You strike out a price. That's about it. Okay, so we did that. And so now we can come back into our code, and we'll just come down here to our show code. And one of the things we want to do is we want to get rid of that strike through. See, we only want it to know it's there, not actually show on the page. So in this case here, we're going to do text decoration. I always forget I have to type out all of it when it's in here. And we're going to say unset. Now, did I spell this wrong? Text decoration unset. Why is that not working? What did I do wrong? Oh, I know what I did wrong. There we go. I did not tell it. We're focusing on the strike portion of this. Now we got unset working. Okay. Now let me show you how that works and why it works real quick. So we'll come in here and we'll scroll down and we'll inspect this and see here what it did is right here is our main element. And why is it not showing? Okay, it's right up here. I'm sorry. The outer wrapper here, we have our ID right here, Playfair. And then inside of here, we have the strike. But you see how many other layers are inside of here? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5 different layers inside of this singular element. And every one of these layers you can apply something to change how this thing looks. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're just going to say, well, in fact, let's not do that. Let's try, let's go to this page here. What I want to do is we're going to edit this as a, nope, we're going to edit as HTML. Then we're going to copy this right there, okay? And go back into our show code, and we're going to paste that in. So now we have this font family in here, okay? So what we want to do now next is we want to, I could do it at the level of the strike. Yeah, let's just do that. So we're going to do here now, font family of, what is it?
Playfair
display. Okay, did it kick in?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's not as fancy as this one here. What am I doing
I think
wrong?
you didn't do italicized.
Right. Well, that's Playfair display. The P and the D are both capitalized, so that might make a difference. Don't think so, but right. That is the next part that I have not done yet, is the italics. So now if we come in here and we make this italics, now will it do what it wants? Now see, it's still not looking exactly the same, which when I did this before, I got it working the same. I should have pulled up one of my old examples of how I had it working.
Did you need to add the, at the end of the Playfair, is that SERIF?
Well, that's a serif. That's a backup font is what that is. So anytime you are putting in font families, you can put in multiple different families. So it says if Playfair display is not available, then let's say we go to Montserrat. If Montserrat is not available, then we would use the standard serif font that was built into the browser, because all browsers come with a base serif and sans serif fonts in them, possibly also a cursive font and maybe something else. I'm not sure. But for some reason here, this is not wanting to. Oh, well, first off, what did I do? Okay, I pulled in 2 of them here, which should be fine. I didn't realize I had 2 of them there. But let me X this out and let me put it above here. That could have something to do with it. Like I said, yeah, there we go. Boom. Oh, you know, I always remember that whenever you see any kind of font families being imported like this, they always go in at the top of the CSS. Now I just absolutely for sure learned why. Is because it has to be, was it pouring rain? That's what it sounded like.
No, it's the audience clapping.
Oh, well, the all one person. The so you also here see we have work sans, but now it becomes the question, do we need that italics on there or not? Yep. Okay, we do, because we are calling it out here, but you can also see here we had pulled in work sans as well. So if we wanted to, we could just pull out. What the heck am I doing?
Because Playfair display is not a native font to ClickFunnels.
Right. So it must not be a Google font, because I'm pretty sure ClickFunnels has all the Google fonts in there. But again, may not know that for sure. So right there, now I changed it to work sans because we had up here work sans italic. And then it'll also show what all the weights are here. So it's, 400 through 900 or whatever. This is all abbreviated, so it's a little hard to see what that is. But so there, now we changed it to the other. So where in with the guys at ClickFunnels, they did a couple of things. They basically did a couple of things that weren't necessary in order to get this to work, because the reality is the heavy lifting here is really done by the importing of the italics version of Playfair display. And then, of course, if we wanted to, in their case here, they set the color based upon the underline. So they're saying only the ones that are underlined we want to have be this color. Okay, fine. Then in here, you just say, color blue, whatever that blue color was.
COLOR.
Cooler. I'm trying to respell it that way. My typing is just Going to heck. Yeah. So once you got your ID on that, you can do whatever you want. And maybe next week, then I will get further into how you can put code into ClickFunnels, how you can, when you should use IDs, when you should use attributes, that kind of stuff, because you should really only technically have one element with a given ID on the page. So if I had 15 different places where I wanted to apply this effect, what I would do is I would create that all of them with an attribute of whatever I wanted that name to be, and then apply that to the attribute. And the reason why you only want one ID is because if you were to then later apply JavaScript to it, JavaScript will only, especially if you're dealing with jQuery, it will only grab the first ID. So you could have 20 elements with the same ID. jQuery will only use the first one. And yes, I have tested it, and yes, I have proved it to myself. So that's why you would do that, but I'll leave that as a cliffhanger for next week. And now we're going to talk some Canva. I haven't been in my Canva account doing much of anything lately, a couple minor images, changes and stuff. So apparently, I mean, when you think about it, they got to keep up with everybody else. And right. Everybody says AI. I was in Zoom yesterday, and there's just pages of things you can turn on and turn off regarding AI inside of Zoom.
Yeah.
And that's all just about transcripts and stuff. So
yeah, and if you use Calendarly, there's a great new feature there where they will actually put in an AI transcription person into your meeting and will actually send you a summary back. So you don't need to have an add-on like Otter or what's Fireflies, or I like Granola, but just because Granola doesn't have to join the meeting. But other ones, like you would invite your AI note taker to the meeting. Now, if somebody books with Calendarly, it automatically invites the note taker, and then it's all set for that meeting. It sends you a summary after the fact.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if I'm going to have a meeting with somebody, I just flip on Loom, record the meeting, and then at the end, just inside of Loom, one click, boom, there's a transcript. That's all free too once you got your Loom account. And who doesn't? I mean, Loom, in my mind, Loom is the best $100 I spend every year.
Yeah. Or the $10 I spend every month.
Just get the annual plan. Of course, I bought an annual plan like 3-4 years ago. As soon as it came out, I was like, oh, I'm going to use this thing every day. All right, Madison, you go. You're kind of freezing up sometimes, but I think we can still hear. Well, I think we can still hear your voice when your face freezes. So.
All right. Well, the biggest thing with AI photos is sometimes it mistakens certain things. So here I have a photo that I generated with AI, and the first thing you can see is the logo. Well, maybe you don't know this, but I'm gonna say the logo is not correct. For whatever reason, it just went rogue. So usually what I would have to do is I'd have to come in here and I'd have to go like magic erase, get rid of the photo or get rid of the logo and do that. Or I'd have to come over here and go back and like grab an element and like, here's the cheap way to do it. Stick this over this like this.
Well, yeah, but if those lines are running behind there, that doesn't work very good. But let me get this straight. Did you generate this image inside of Canva?
No. I pulled this from Claude. Nano Banana. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And heavens forbid it.
Does Canva even have the ability? I think it can generate images now, can it? I have not tested that at all.
Yeah. Well, there's generate images right here.
Okay.
So like here, so I had a thing where the gradient on it was in the wrong spot, basically. So that's how I discovered this. So I was going to put it in Canva, and I was like, oh, I'm going to have to, get some kind of creative with that. So when I first put this into Canva, I'm using a different image because I can't spill what my other project is.
Yeah.
Coming soon. Yeah. Open loop. All right. So I go to edit, and I saw this new thing called Magic Layers. And I was like, what's that? What's Magic Layers? That sounds cool, right?
I will admit that is new.
So you go through like this, and it scans the photo.
If this does what I'm thinking it's going to do, that saves so much work because you used to have to pick this apart one at a time and then get lucky.
Yep.
Because so often you try to like pull out one of those lines of text and it'll leave this blurry, smudgy crap behind it. So it actually, man, it took everything apart piece by piece.
Yep. It left the background, obviously. And it left.
That saves so much time. Holy cow.
So here's the other thing. I'm like, oh no, it's really a $500 card. It now makes all of this text that you can replace.
So it automatically, yeah, I mean, one of the features was, grab text off the page. I mean, some of it was grab elements, some of it was erase stuff. It was, there are clearly different ways to do that in there. But so it takes every one of these and automatically turns it into a text element if it sees it as text.
Yeah, it did. Well, and photos though. Here's this, the little stars. There's the text there. Here's this background banner. I mean, it's all there, and it kept the background.
Okay. I didn't really see what you did. Yeah, the signal going into the bunker today is really bad. So we'll all just tap dance for a minute while Madison apparently freezes. Madison was on a call with Tony Barnett the other day, and at the end of it, it just froze and nobody could get off the call because Madison she'd frozen. But we'll see. I think I'm still talking.
Oh, okay. Could you hear me going, uh-oh?
Yeah, no, you were completely frozen. I was telling the story about how you froze at the end of the call with Tony the other day. And I don't know how you guys ever got out of that call, but it got cut off.
I hit end. I hit end on Facebook. I hit end.
You just okay. All right, so you were moving stuff around there, but we couldn't hear what you were saying.
Oh, okay. So you can see I have moved all of these elements. And so like the same thing is I can go down here and create a new page. And I can drag these all to a new page too. Like
right. Well, you could just right click and say copy and go down there and paste them in and all that. But no, I mean, like I said, that was okay. Go back up to like an original one and let's show everybody what you used to have to go through to get that to happen.
Yeah. So usually you would have to take it into Photoshop and do something like, before even Magic Erase.
Right, so scroll up on the screen so we can see the entirety of that bottom image there. Okay. So now open up the editor. So edit.
Yeah, I just go background erase, but I can show it that way too. I'm losing where we would do that at. Oh, I got to go edit. There we go.
Okay.
And you'd have to go.
Okay. So move over so you can see like there's ones for text or like just do Magic Grab or either one.
Yeah.
So Magic Grab.
So I'm going to take the card out.
Yeah. Now that's going to pull that out of there. And who knows, by being able to put in this latest feature, they may have so improved their AI that what I was going to show would work perfectly at this point. But go back into the Magic Grab and then pick something that doesn't get automatically found. So it will. Oh, you gotta.
Oh, hold on. I gotta go back.
You gotta click back onto the main image.
Okay. Okay. You want me just to brush?
Yeah. Like take out the blue sentence at 2025. So just brush that. Okay. Now have it grab it and let's see if it does.
Because you see, I did miss some of it up above. I got it kind of slashed over.
Right. Let's see. Okay. See, that's what I was talking before. It would leave that residue behind there. And which also means if you look at the actual text, it messes that all up too. All right. So now go hit your back button and go back to page with nothing on it. Now do the edit again. And then do that as grab the text and grab that same thing. Okay, so it auto found that. But now look at what it did.
As good a job as this text here. Because this kept the background glow.
Okay. And go back down to the other one. What I think it also did is did it change the font as well?
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things I found when you did just the text grab, it would actually change the font. So it basically has to turn it into a font that it understands and it guesses whatever is the closest. And so that completely changes the look and feel of that, especially that $sign. If that's what it looked like to begin with. When you did the holistic grab there, if we can call it that, you can definitely see the two differences. It says Ask Canva over the top of it now, but you can clearly see how that font changed.
Yeah.
But when you did it by doing the layer swipe, when you did it, the layers, did that retained the font, didn't it? Which really becomes a question of how did it do that, especially if it doesn't have that font in its system.
Magic.
Well, apparently. But that, like I said, that saves hours of work. Because how many times do you get something, you go into whatever your favorite image generator is, and you give it the instructions. Okay, I want to in fact, let's do that. We got 15 minutes. Why don't you go into Nanner Banana or something? And I used to use Sora. I love Sora for generating images. You can't use it anymore because it's only videos now. And frankly, their videos thing doesn't work very good. I like what you showed me better the other day. But I guess if you want to use the equivalent of Sora, you just go into ChatGPT.
Correct. So I will say this is the image that I had the issues with. It looked something like this, where it had a gradient, but it was in the middle, and that's what I was trying to solve. And like previously, I would have had to go like this and try to layer these on top of that to get that gradient to make sense. So that's
the first thing you would have had to do is strip everything out. You'd have to pull out the images. You'd have to pull out the lines of text and have it leave that residue behind, and then have to try to scrub that out, and on and on. And, you can always do, the capture like she showed by running. But yeah, I mean, this is just so much. As far as I'm concerned, what it did was flawless. And that's a pretty complicated background image for it to be able to cut those items out and to retain that glow around some of that text.
Yeah.
So make a prompt in there of just give me a Facebook.
I had it make me an image for Super Ambassadors Live. So this is my new favorite tool. It's Manus. And I've been pretty excited with Manus as of late. But Manus takes all my money.
But it's cool. That's what I thought. So how much does Manus cost?
We don't want to talk about it. We don't talk about it.
You don't want your husband to find out? Okay, that's fine.
No. I believe it's $40 a month.
The baby's not going to get diapers this month?
Then as you keep moving up, it's more tokens, more tokens, more tokens. I actually learned the lesson. For most of your tasks, run on Manus 1.6 Lite. Not the medium version, and definitely not the max version. Definitely don't have it build your app on max.
Yeah, and don't connect it to your what do they call it? Claw? No, what do they?
Clawbot. No.
Yeah, don't
OpenClaw.
Apparently, you don't want to connect that to anything. Now, so that's the image it generated. Did it like look at the image we were already currently using and like just steal it from us?
No, it's close.
Well, I know, but looks to me like we got a copyright infringement issue here, because I'm sure we didn't use AI to generate ours.
Gosh, oh heck no. Oh heck no. Let me figure out where that went to. Drag this in. And then go edit.
Well, this will be
Magic
interesting.
layers.
Because this one is not nearly as clear as the other one you had as far as what the layers should be. So
Yeah.
this will be an interesting experiment here. If it pulls this one off perfectly, I will be shocked.
I'll show you. I'll pull up another one because I will show you something that I thought was absolutely nuts with when it comes to this other one. I'll probably get in trouble for showing it, but that's okay. It's okay. I mean, yeah, the text is not so
well, but it took that apart in layers and it didn't leave any smudge behind. So pull those off further out of the way so we can
Let me just add a new page down here and just pull all these guys down here.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing.
Wow. But those are supposed to be screens on the side there. Like here's a big door. Okay. Huh. I wouldn't even have noticed. Is there anything else that it cut out on there?
The fireworks, the glow, it took that.
Okay, so some parts of the fireworks. Man, that's
the layers too. So see all the screens.
You can't go by a week without somebody saying, "Oh, Canva's dead. Canva's out of business because something else replaced it." And then, boom, you see this. Canva has this. It's just like, oh, okay, what are you guys gonna do?
Yeah.
And again, I mean, what does Canva cost? Again, $100 a year or something? $10, $20 a month at the most. I don't even.
Yeah.
So you get Loom, you get Canva. There's $200 a year right there. You get yourself a ChatGPT account at $10 a month. So you're running your entire business and your graphics and everything for $3.50 to $350 a year.
So I'll show you this example. So this is a top secret project. So I said I'm probably get in trouble for doing this. So you see, look, on these screens, it says exposed. Well, I ran the same thing and now it didn't quite get it perfect. And it did leave it behind, but I was even able to pull off the text.
Yeah. This is clearly the worst example of what we had.
But I mean, it's pretty blurry too. So
looks like you guys got beat up pretty good there.
We did.
Yeah,
little. But it made us look good.
I was gonna say a little cat fight there,
So, no comment. TMI. We'll pull the. Dan made it weird.
Yeah.
Dan made it weird.
Yeah, of course.
We were doing good until we went there. But
yeah, I watched too much Gutfeld. So.
Yeah.
So now I was going to say now you got to put the super ambassador live words back in place, but I guess all you got to do is hit the back button and it'll do it for you.
Yeah.
But that,
I mean, I can even say if we change the name to like super ambassadors.
Yep. Super ambassadors dead instead of alive.
Dan and Madison. Dead ambassadors. Super ambassadors.
Well, you got to do both layers though too.
Yeah, that's what's doing the next layer. Oops.
Well, that's
would be to do the back layer first.
Yeah, that would be you got to get them both to line up. But now we're just playing. I wasn't even paying attention to anybody in the chat here. Auto list cleaning, multiple bounces, hurts delivery. Two-factor auth is still a thing. So there's still that extra layer of security up. I love it. Google sign in. Yeah. Yeah, and just on that note, Brandon had made a comment here about the two-factor authentication. Make sure you have that turned on your account, especially if you're on a laptop, especially if you're out and about in places where people could easily be getting into your computer. What was the story of? Was it Christine Morel was over in somewhere in Asia, and she was on Wi-Fi, and she ended up getting her ClickFunnels account boosted, and lost a whole bunch of money because I think they basically took out her Stripe account and put their Stripe account in, and so all of her sales were going directly into their Stripe account. If I got the story right, either way, she lost a bunch of money, and she did not have 2FA turned on, two-factor authentication turned on, and so that was a great lesson for everybody to learn that use the security measures that are given to you because. So Brandon also said auto list cleaning multiple bounces hurts delivery. So yeah, but also somebody bouncing could have bounced for all kinds of reasons too. So don't automatically delete them if they bounce once. If they bounce 2 or 3 times, then yeah, you don't want to keep sending to them. Do you want to delete them from your list? Well, that's up to you because they have not unsubscribed at that point. They have just bounced. So that doesn't mean that they can't come along later and do whatever. But for some reason, they're not able, the sender, the SMTP, is not able to connect to that email address for whatever reason. But chances are it's because it's a bad email address, because somebody opted in for your thing and just put in some junk email address, which is another good reason why you email them whatever you promised to give them. And make it very clear you're going to email it to them so that they have to give you an email address that actually works.
Yep.
So on that, was there anything else exciting in Canva, even though you just, by showing me that, you just saved me all kinds of work having to.
No, I think that is the most exciting thing I can find. We might have to have lists back on to tell us if there's stuff that we haven't noticed yet.
Yeah.
Lists are our resident Canva expert.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. Well, we didn't take up the entirety of the hour today, but there's no reason to jump into a new topic. Let me see. Is there anything else exciting in the ClickFunnels world? One of the things I saw is they are now giving you the ability to lazy load an order form on a page, which I kind of looked at that and thought, those order forms tend to take a long time to load anyway. So I'm not sure if I would want to lazy load it because, I guess the whole idea is the page is going to load faster. But then when you scroll down the page and you get to the point where the form then would actually start to load, somebody might be sitting there for 10, 15 seconds as that page, as the actual order element.
The most important thing you want them to do to buy. And you don't want to have a barrier with that.
Yeah. And you would never use the lazy load if it's above the fold and showing on page load either. So, I wasn't that excited about that one. I'm trying to think what else was in the feedback stuff, which in case somebody does not know where that is, let me see, is this the right? Okay, note to self. Do not try to open up a page in the same tab that you're running StreamYard in because you disappear. So don't.
And do here that. I thought it was me frozen, so I'm just going like.
No, I just went up to my tabs and I clicked on the page to open it, and then I was like, oh, that was really, really bad idea. Let me try this one here. All right, the share the screen, the window. After clicking 14 things, you can finally get here. So this is the feedback page right here. And so you can come in here. In case you don't know about this, you got a feature request. I'm not actually logged in right now, but you have to log in. I forget what this platform is even called. But you can look at what some of the things that people are requesting in here and how many upvotes it has and all that. But then you can also come here and see the change log. And so here's one of the things where they were talking about the Google sign in. Oh, here's what that page will look like once you turn it on. Once you get to the user settings, there's a big old connect button right here. And then you apparently put your email address right there as well on the page. And so either way, so what is this? feedback.myclickfunnels.com. Just go there and you can see the change log. So every week you can keep up to date with all the cool stuff that's coming in. Apparently this right here is something new too, where they put in this key when you're setting up a product, and then you can match that key to like I think Zapier or a webhook or something like that, to be able to find that product or pinpoint it much better. All kinds of improvements to things here. So every week there's usually 3, 4, 5 things in here about new things that they're fixing, changing, whatever, things that are coming out. And yeah, I know they're right now they're just fast and furious coming at us with all kinds of new stuff for beta testers and things like that. So there's all kinds of new stuff coming every single day. So it is right now the top of the hour. So I think, Madison, we should get out of here on time for once. It'll be the first time ever, I think, that we got out on time.
Well, no, it's 12 now. We would have had to end at 12:59. But I can hit this button before it's 12:01 and tell everybody we'll see them next week. Bye-bye.